Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So in this video, we are going to go through chapter 6, ratio and graphs of trigonometric functions, in which we are going to focus on 6.2, the graph of sine, cosine and tangent functions. Okay, so before we go further, this is the things that we have to remember. Okay, the quadrant in unit circle and the angles related to each quadrant in the unit circle. And we have to remember the formula ASTC, okay, in which the first quadrant all trigonometric functions, the value are positive. In second quadrant, only sin are positive. In third quadrant, only tan are positive. And in the fourth quadrant, only C is positive. Okay. So now, we go to the first learning objective, which is we want to draw trigonometric graphs. Okay, the objectives here that we must be able to draw the graph and then sketch the graph. Okay, and we have to familiar and remember the shape of the graph. And lastly, we can determine the x and y values of the graphs, the x-intercepts and the y-intercepts. Okay, so you can easily do this activity by using GeoGebra. Okay, you can get it through online, or maybe you can do it in the graph paper to draw the graphs of sine, cosine and tangent, in which I will skip this one. Okay, and we just go to the result. Alright, so the result is that this is the sine graph. Okay, y is equal to sine x, in which we have the shape is like this, okay, like a wave. And the second thing is that we have to know the x-intercepts and y-intercepts of the diagram. Alright, so, of the graph. So the y-intercept and the x-intercept of sine graph. The y-intercept, we go for the y-intercept first. It's not y-intercept, sorry, the maximum value of sine graph, sorry. The maximum value of sine graph will be y is equal to 1. And the maximum will be y is equal to negative 1. Okay? Because we can see when sine x is equal to 1, the value here will be 90 degree. Okay? And here is 180 degree when we have sine x is equal to 0. And here is 270 degree. And the last one is 360 degree. So all these points must be, we are must familiar with all these points and know the kedudukan each of these intercepts and the points. Okay. Next, for cosine graph, this is the shapes of the cosine graph, like U shape, okay, or a quadratic shape, something like that. Okay. So the maximum is also 1, same goes as sine graph, and negative 1 for the maximum value, minimum value of y. And the intercepts will be when y is equal to 0, it will be for 90 degree. And here is 180 degree when our y is equal to negative 1. And when y is equal to 0, we have 270 degree. And for the last one, when y is equal to 1, we also have the value for 360 degree. So these are the intercepts, okay, and the important coordinates in the cosine. Okay, so for the graph y is equal to tan x, okay, we have to remember the important things here is that it has asymptote. Asymptote is a point or is a line in which the graph will not touch the line ever. Okay, takkan berjumpa sampai bila-bila pun takkan berjumpa. So what is the value for the asymptote is when x is equal to 90 degree and when x is equal to 270. So these two are the infinity values for tan x, in which when we put in calculator, okay, when we type tan 90, we will get math error. That means there is no value for tan 90 and tan 270. So the point here will be between 90 and 270, which is 180. So tan 180 is 0, and another one is tan 360 is also 0, which will be situated here. So these are important points in tangent graph, and tangent graph doesn't have maximum or minimum value. So overall, what we have to know on trigonometric functions is that, okay, undefined value in tangent graph are tan 90 and tan 270. Okay, this is only the undefined values in tangent graph, and these are the overall things that we have to remember and know on trigonometric functions. Okay, the shape of the graph, the maximum, the minimum value, the x-intercept and the y-intercept.